A billionaire's son turned his hotel room into a sniper's nest, killed 60 people, and to this day, nobody knows why. On October 1, 2017, Stephen Paddock committed the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, and the FBI's official report is basically a giant shrug. This guy had no criminal record, no political affiliations, no manifesto, just millions of dollars and a terrifyingly well-planned attack. The official story is full of holes, and conspiracy theories went wild. Was he an arms dealer? A government patsy? Was there a second shooter? The questions are endless, and the answers are non-existent. This event reveals a terrifying pattern. The official story is often the least believable one, and the truth gets buried under layers of secrecy and incompetence. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the most horrific events in history remain complete and total mysteries. What do you think really happened in Vegas?
Two brothers just blew up a newspaper building and killed 21 people because they really hated their boss's politics? On October 1st, 1910, the LA Times building was dynamited in one of America's first acts of domestic terrorism. The owners, the Otis family, were fiercely anti-union, and the McNamara brothers, radical unionists, decided to settle the debate with bombs. They were hailed as heroes by the labor movement until their own celebrity lawyer sold them out to save his own skin. This story reveals a dark pattern in American history. When political division gets heated enough, violence becomes the only argument left. From the Civil War to January 6th, we see this pattern repeat, where political disagreements escalate into deadly violence. It's a terrifying reminder that the line between political passion and political terrorism is dangerously thin. Are we seeing this pattern repeat today? Let me know in the comments.
Mao Zedong declared victory over China and then killed more of his own people than Hitler and Stalin combined. On October 1, 1949, Mao stood at the gate of heavenly peace and promised a new era of freedom and prosperity. What he delivered was the Great Leap Forward, a truly disastrous social experiment that led to the largest famine in human history, killing up to 45 million people. Then came the Cultural Revolution, a decade of chaos and violence where students turned on their teachers and children betrayed their parents. This story reveals a horrifying pattern. Revolutions that promise heaven on earth often deliver a living hell. It's a chilling reminder that the road to utopia is paved with the bodies of the innocent and that absolute power corrupts absolutely. From the French Revolution's reign of terror to Pol Pot's killing fields, the pattern is always the same. Why do we keep falling for the same revolutionary lies?
The Nazis got their day in court, and half of them walked free to live normal lives. On October 1, 1946, the Nuremberg trials delivered their verdicts, and the world was shocked. While the biggest names were sentenced to hang, many high-ranking Nazis who were directly involved in the Holocaust received light sentences or were acquitted altogether. And what happened to the Nazi scientists who built Hitler's V-2 rockets? They were secretly smuggled to America in Operation Paperclip and given jobs at NASA, where they helped put a man on the moon. This story reveals a disturbing pattern. When it's politically convenient, justice takes a back seat to national interest. It's a chilling reminder that even after the most horrific atrocities in history, the powerful often find a way to protect their own. From the Cold War to today, the pattern is always the same. Is this justice or just politics?
It is said America created its space agency by hiring Nazi rocket scientists who built Hitler's terror weapons. On October 1, 1958, NASA was officially born, but the secret ingredient to its success was Operation Paperclip, a top-secret program that brought over 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians to the United States. Many of these men were dedicated Nazis, including Werner von Braun, the man who designed the V-2 rocket that terrorized London and was built by slave labor. He was given a new identity, a clean record, and a key role in the Apollo program. This story reveals a dark pattern in history. Moral compromises are always made for technological advantage. It's a chilling reminder that the pursuit of progress is often built on a foundation of dirty secrets and forgotten crimes. From the atomic bomb to AI, the pattern is always the same. Do the ends justify the means?
It is said the Russian Tsar kicked out an entire people from their homes and stole everything they owned because he needed someone to blame for his own failures. On October 1, 1898, Tsar Nicholas II ordered the expulsion of all Jews from major Russian cities. This was part of a truly brutal campaign of anti-sponsored anti-Semitism that painted Jews as the enemy within, the cause of all of Russia's problems. Their homes, businesses, and possessions were confiscated and given to ethnic Russians. This story reveals a terrifying pattern in history. When a country is in crisis, its leaders will always find a minority to scapegoat. It's a cynical and effective way to distract the public from their own incompetence and corruption. From the Spanish Inquisition to the Holocaust to modern-day immigrant bashing, the pattern is always the same. Why do we keep falling for this same old trick?
Baseball's most sacred record was broken by a man the fans hated for not being Babe Ruth. On October 1, 1961, Roger Maris hit his 61st home run, surpassing the record held by the beloved Babe Ruth. But instead of being celebrated, Maris was truly vilified. He received death threats, his family was harassed, and the media portrayed him as an unworthy successor. The baseball commissioner even put an asterisk next to his record in the official books, claiming it was less legitimate because it was achieved in a longer season. This story reveals a dark pattern in our culture. We often hate the people who challenge our cherished myths and heroes. It's a reminder that progress is often met with resistance, and that the person who breaks the record is rarely as beloved as the person who set it. From sports to science, the pattern is always the same. Why do we hate our heroes?
Britain gave Nigeria independence, knowing it would immediately collapse into a bloody civil war. On October 1, 1960, Nigeria celebrated its independence from the British Empire, but the country was a colonial invention, a patchwork of rival ethnic and religious groups forced together into a single state. Britain knew that the borders they had drawn were a recipe for disaster, but they didn't care. They just wanted to get out. Within a few years, Nigeria descended into a brutal civil war that killed over 1 million people. This story reveals a tragic pattern of colonialism. When empires retreat, they often leave behind a legacy of chaos and violence. From India and Pakistan to Israel and Palestine, the pattern is always the same. The arbitrary lines drawn on a map by colonial powers become the battle lines of the future. Are we still paying the price for these colonial sins?
It is said the Pope called a council to reform the church and instead made corruption even worse. On October 1, 1512, the Fifth Lateran Council was convened to address the truly rampant corruption that was rotting the Catholic Church from the inside out. But instead of cleaning house, the council doubled down on the very practices that were causing the problem. They officially sanctioned the selling of indulgences, which were basically get-out-of-hell-free cards for the rich. This story reveals a classic pattern in history. Institutions that are supposed to be reformed from within often end up becoming even more corrupt. It's a reminder that power protects itself and that real change rarely comes from the top. From Wall Street to Washington, the pattern is always the same. The system is rigged to protect the powerful, and the people who are supposed to fix it are often the ones who benefit from it the most. Can a corrupt system ever reform itself?